Hello, hello. So I have my friend Gussie Boy over here, and Gussie Boy is going to help out with some footage today. We're going to be going through the 5x5 workout that I created. So a bit of context on Gus. Gus is very experienced with exercise and has played a lot of sport in the past as well, but he hasn't done too much work with kettlebells. So this will be interesting. I'm not sure what his ability is going to be, but I guess we'll find out and we'll try cue accordingly. So yeah, we're going to start again. We're going to start with a goblet squat, push press, kettlebell sumo deadlift with a rack today. The kettlebell swing, and then the dead clean to finish. Cool. All right, let's get into it. Down. Okay. Goblet squat to start. So grab the horns. Yeah, we're going to place it in front of us. Perfect. And now hips back and sit, and elbows should just finish. Awesome. Good job. Try holding the kettlebells up a little bit more. Yeah, elbows tucked up.
Do a few more.
Yeah. Oh, just wait. Have a break. We'll have a little break in between.
Yeah, no worries.
So as well, just a bit more context with this particular workout. So we only have access to how many kettlebells today? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 kettlebells. There's a 20 kilo, a 16 kilo, 12 kilo, and an 8 kilo. I don't think the 8's going to get used much, but we'll see how we go. But that's what I've got access to. That's all I have, so can't do much about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's do it again.
So like this?
So hold it by the hip.
Yeah, like that?
Just like that. Awesome. Breathe in on the way down, out of the way up. In. Awesome. Good job.
So what, 30 seconds?
30 seconds.
Yeah.
No worries. Get all 5 done.
So the next one's a press, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess I'll choose this.
That should be good.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's out of the way of your. Oh, hang on. We haven't finished. We're going to do 5 rep squat sets.
Of each one?
Yeah, of each one.
Yeah.
Alright, we ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Try grip it with your fingers off the top. So grip the whole kettlebell, yeah. 2, 3, 4. Up. Awesome.
Too good.
So if you ever have problems with your knee tracking as well, what you can do is you can just pretend there's a line in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
And basically you want to spread the floor with your feet. So we're down in the squat, spread the floor on the way up, which keeps your knees tracking over your toes.
Yeah, okay, right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I'll do it this time. Yeah.
Alright, let's go. Awesome. 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Good job. Is that 4 sets? That's 4.
Right. I'm gonna be bugged at the end of this.
Yeah.
Smashing. So if I pass out just due to being unfit, does that mean you still fail?
I'd say so. I think if he passes out, I think not passing.
Nah,
is
that
success.
means you lose. It's game over.
Alright. You might have to have the water on you.
Yeah.
Stand one. Awesome. The next one we have is an overhead press. So we're going to keep the kettlebell arm parallel to the ground, elbow parallel to the ground. Kettlebell is going to sit nicely with the relaxed hands, and the kettlebell is going to sit at the back of your hands this way. Bring that arm out, up. So that's obviously standard press. What we're doing is push press, which is using the momentum from the little push.
Should I hold it? Like lock it?
Yeah, lock it out. So we're going to be here with the left as well. Lock it out. Yep.
Use the momentum.
Yeah, use the momentum of your push. So which means you can have a bit of a heavier weight with this one. So try and go to 12, and if not, we can even try the 16.
Yeah.
If you're for sure. Get it back to the handle. Relax your hands. Relax. Okay. Yeah. Now push. Press. Keep your elbow parallel. Yeah.
Look close to me.
Yeah. A little bit further. Just relax. Remember, elbow should sit, the kettlebell should sit at the back of your forearm.
Yeah.
So try not to twist too much. Awesome.
Change?
So yeah, alternate. Yep. Press.
Oh yeah, so it's
Elbow in. Is that okay?
yeah, that was good. So elbows like tucked in.
Yeah, so when your elbow kind of tucked in here.
So it's like right in front.
Yeah,
Sitting like parallel with my body.
parallel with the ground, and then straight line, and then
So you're twisting your wrist.
not really. You're just kind of keeping it straight. So like here, elbow in.
Oh, okay, right. You just roll your wrist back a little bit.
Yeah. The key is to relax. Relax your muscles in your hands. Everyone grips them way too tight. Causes a lot of issues. Elbow in. Yeah. Bring your left side just a little bit further this way, so you're straight there. Awesome. Left hand. So what happened with the one before, when I told you to straighten up when I told him to straighten up his body a little bit, when I told him to bring his elbow in a bit tighter, automatically he wanted to push his body this way to compensate, which would keep his elbow winging a little bit, just so it gets in line with what I'm saying. So if I go like that, you see the elbow's winging again. But if I bring it back in, keep this straight, then I'm all in a straight parallel line. You all good with that?
Yeah. No, I get it. Again?
Yeah. Turning again. 3, 4. Nice. Awesome. When you're hiking, you can go up as well. Just try upright row.
Oh yeah.
Zip jacket up.
Yeah.
Cool.
One more. I think.
Yeah.
So 25. 25 setup.
Yeah, it is. 25
Thank God I'm getting paid well for this.
Your king.
$20 an hour. Yeah.
That's it. Almost. Just relax your hand a little bit. Two, three, four, five. Awesome. Good job, man. See? Okay, so for this next one, we're going to do a kettlebell sumo deadlift with a block today, just so we can really get that hinge hit right, because I've got a sneaking suspicion that Gus is going to be over squatting in a kettlebell swing, and obviously a prerequisite to a kettlebell swing is the hip hinge. So I'm going to try and teach him how to deadlift. Because of his exercise experience, I think he's going to pick this up pretty quickly. So Gus, we're going to be here, standing with the kettlebell just in front of you, and you're going to bend down and pick it up. And all you're going to do is push your hips back and bend. Keeping a neutral spine, hips out, down. On the way up, drive your feet through the ground. Here, drive, hips through. Hips back, and down again. Does it make sense? Yeah. Okay. Let's see how you go. Awesome. That's perfect. Yeah. Right. That's it. 3, 4. Nice one. Just make sure your knees track over your toes as well, so you can use that same method I gave before about spreading the floor. Yeah. Just try to spread the floor, keep your knees tracking on the outside of your toes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty good. So, contrary to what I thought, he actually can hip hinge. So that's great. Makes my job a lot easier. You want to go again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Drive your feet. 4. Hips down a bit at the end. Awesome. Good job. Heavies are burning. Just at the probably at the bottom of your lift, try and just bend the knees slightly to just get just a little bit of give in your knees. Yeah. Which will keep your like lumbar, so the bottom of your back, it will keep that neutral. Yeah. So like this is it's pretty good. Like it's not a problem here, obviously, because this is pretty light for Franco. But I could see if he was going to lift some heavier weights and deadlift properly, I could see that he needs to complete that part of the lift right at the end, where you just drop your knees slightly. So it's obviously back here, and he's about to there. But when he's actually going to have to go to the ground, he's going to have to sit slightly. And that's where you generate all the power through your quads as well, when you're down in that powerful position, and you can get up and drive your hips through the end of the deadlift. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
It's not good, no real consequence here, because it's so light. Yeah. But if it was heavier, just drop your hips at the bottom of that lift, which will allow you to drive your feet through the ground. Get a long way. Right. So hips down. So go again. So leave it, relax. Yeah. Hips out. Go to just exactly where you did before. Don't change anything. And now when you get to there, drop your hips slightly with your knees. So squat slightly. Okay, now and hips through. Now hips out. Awesome. So see how you made that final completion with your knees?
Yeah.
Awesome. So hips should still go out, knees only at the ends. Only at the end. Hips out, hips out, hips out, knees. hips out, hips out. Awesome. Awesome. Now spread the floor. One more. Nice. There's a few more reps in that, but I just wanted to teach that. So, yeah,
No,
do
I get it,
you
for sure.
feel the difference there?
I just get like, I feel like I got more stability.
Yeah.
When I get that knee, I can centralize it a bit more.
Yeah.
Like I can just drop my hips, like you said.
The way I like
And
to
I
teach
get like
it as
more
well
power.
is that, like, just pretend, say, the top of this kettlebell is a bar, and that's where the flat of the bar is. What you want to be doing when you are dropping the kettlebell, so your ear up and down, your shoulders still want to be at least in line with the bar. I like to teach it a little bit in front of the bar because a lot of people overcompensate with their arch and therefore the shoulders will fall behind the bar. So what I want to see, and as soon as your shoulders are behind the bar, you're squatting.
Yeah.
Because you literally can't be in a bent position. It's just dynamically impossible.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hips out here, you come up, and at the end of the lift, my knees slightly go, so you obviously see hips, knees right at the end, but you can see my shoulders are still well in front of my body. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Only at the end. Hips out, knees. Awesome. Awesome. That's fine.
Good.
Yeah, one more set.
Yeah, one more.
It's a pretty nice day.
We should have a kick. Do you want to go for a run later?
Yeah, I've got to work till 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the time now? We could go have a kick on you. Yeah. Okay, last set. Let's do it. Awesome. That's good. Thanks, dude. That was really good. Pick that up pretty quick. That's nice.
Definitely might have to do like a workout on it. The legs are burning.
Okay, so now we're going to do the kettlebell swing. So I'll get you to jump just to the side. So the reason we did the deadlifts before we do the swing is because the deadlift, obviously I said before, the hip hinge is a prerequisite for a kettlebell swing. So if we can program some deadlifts in there first, it kind of logically flows from the deadlift to the kettlebell swing, which is nice.
Yeah.
So obviously we add our hip hinge there, and basically we're going to do the same thing where all we're doing is hinging our hips out with this exercise, which allows us to generate force by driving your glutes, squeezing your quads, squeezing your abs all the way through until the kettlebell gets to the top of its point.
Yeah.
So we're here, down, up, hinge, hinge, hinge. Driving up with your hips. Yep. Try it with this one first, and if you're good with that, we can move on. Yeah. Okay, so probably a little bit. Your hips probably aren't hinging enough. Really try drive your hips back. Better. So that's probably too light. Can you feel how light that is now? When you actually drive your hips.
Yeah.
What did you think? We'll ask Franco. What did you?
No, like when
drive your
I
hips?
found it like the weight weird at the start, but then even at the end of it,
Yeah.
I felt like it was easy.
It was
like
easy.
light. Yeah, just getting good momentum.
Would you say it feels easier when you drive your hips through?
Oh,
instead of just kind of using your arms?
Yeah, just 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's the backbone of it for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Your arms just do that lot, like just kind of guide it up, you know.
Yeah. Alright, let's do this one now. I'll just stand in front and just check it for as well. So go. Hips out. Drive. Pretty good from the front. Drive hips. Good, awesome, lovely. So you can see there as well. So the way I like to kind of cue this as well is that the end point of your hip hinge is where the end point of your kettlebell is. So if the kettlebell is behind you and it goes to its end point behind you, that's when you stop hip hinging. That means that the kettlebell and all the momentum from it is with that kettlebell all the way through the hip hinge. So here, hinge finishes right at the end, which means everything in line. And it also means I'm not hinging early, which I just did there. You obviously see, go like this, hinge early, and all of a sudden everything drops, everything falls into your lower back. So hinge and the kettlebell ending simultaneously at the bottom of the swing. Okay, let's do this. 2, 3, 4. Hinge a bit more. Good. So you probably, in that one, probably just underhinged slightly. So you're just a little bit shallow. Okay. Which means everything you wanted to overcompensate by keeping your chest up a little bit as well. Yeah. Because you just couldn't get that far back. So yeah. Kind of here. So you had your chest up, you're only going back a little bit, and then kind of arching just like that, okay? So I want your hips out. Hips out. Just hips. Pretend that there's something that you're trying to knock with your bum behind you. You're hinging hips, you're pushing your bum back into it. Pretend there's a wall behind you. You're trying to hit your bum with the wall. Alright, let's do it. Awesome, that's good. Feel a bit different with your hip pushing hips?
Yeah, definitely. Starting to get the hang of it for sure.
You should feel like, obviously, a little bit more in the hamstrings when you push back with your bum. Further back, your bum's going to go, obviously, the more your hamstrings start to stretch.
Yeah, no, I think my hamstrings are really tight, so it's just kind of compensating.
I'm the same dude. I explained this in one of the other videos for this assessment, but I explained why sometimes I can even be shallow in a kettlebell swings because my hamstrings are so tight.
Yeah, and they just can't run it so bad.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, let's do it.
Alright, so is that everything? Or?
So this is 3. We're still got to do a clean up to the top.
Yeah.
Actually, this is 4. This is 4, dude. 1. Hips back. 3, 4. Good. Nice. What do you feel most when you're driving up through the kettlebell?
It starts with my hammies, I feel that.
Yeah.
No, my hamstring, and then it's like all hip and arms towards the end of it.
Okay. Nice. One more step.
Oh yeah, one more.
One more. Hips back. Awesome. That's Good. Okay, our last one. We're going to do a dead clean. So all we're going to do with this one is a multi-part movement, I would say, but it's all in the one motion. So when you're actually doing it, you're not breaking it down into like 3 separate components. but to get to that position, you need to know every movement. So the first one is like a zip up your jacket. It's pretty much just an upright row. So all you're going to do, a bit further than shoulder width apart, hand down here. What we're going to do is we're going to upright row into a flick, and then you're going to catch underneath. So if I do that in one motion, it won't look as ugly. So here, up, and catch. And the kettlebell should sit just to the side of your hand. When you're doing this one, just relax your hand. If you overcompensate and you're over squeezing, what usually happens is the kettlebell flicks back and kind of lands on the back of your wrist and kind of hurts a little bit even at times. So here, this, relax wrist, under. And my elbow will be in a straight line when I catch it as well. So zip up the jacket upright, just like that. Yeah. See how you go. Let's try it. No, no press. No press. So just do an upright row and a flick, just hanging here. Once you just upright row, pretty good, probably over flicked because your elbow is winging a little bit. Try to keep your elbow nice and tight in that upright row. A little bit better. Relax your hand. Better. Does that feel good? Yeah. Okay. So from the ground to the dead clean, hand, other hand out like this, yep. Go, I reckon hands a little bit wider, feet a little bit wider, yep. So now all the way down, so hold, now upright row, flick, okay. So that one, too shallow with the upright row. So basically what he's done there is he's pulled up and flicked without doing the zip up the jacket or the upright row. So we're going to get him to really upright row it and come under with flick. So up, an upright row, yeah. Yeah. Keep everything nice and tight. Upright, flick, awesome. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's do it again. Nope. So that time again, over flicked because you didn't upright row. In order to generate that momentum, instead of the upright row, which creates the momentum for the flick, he's hiking and basically having to use his wrist to get it around, which is why obviously the kettlebell falls on the back of his wrist really harshly. So upright row and then come under it. Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah, I get it. Upright, better. It's okay, just a bit of a flick, but the upright part is the first part of the movement. We'll get two. Upright. Still under, yeah, you can see it, couldn't you? Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Better. Stop there, have a break. Awesome. So that, you can tell, can't you? Yeah. It's just you haven't used your shoulder at all for that upright, right? Yeah. And then it's easy to just do it a bit and then just release. Yeah, just zipping up the jacket, coming underneath. Yeah. Zip up the jacket. I like that one. It's the first time I heard that was in this course, was the zip it up. I always got taught to just, it's an upright roller. Yeah. Yeah, it's a top.
So how am I doing this? Should we alternate or 5 on each?
Just go 5 on the right hand for today.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, under upright row. So go upright row a little bit more. Up, perfect, a lot better. Now just relax your hands. Pretty good. Pretty good. So you've got those 2 stages of the movement. A little bit under. Feel it. One more. Yeah. Awesome. So that one was still a little bit to the side. So you like side, order it up. Yeah. Instead of being all in a straight line. Yeah. Is that 4?
No, I've not many of that.
Is that 2 or 3? First 2 movements you had there for a couple of those reps, and now the third.
Well, I think I'm rolling my shoulder a bit. Am I meant to?
No, you literally gotta keep.
Yeah,
like a genuine up. You know when you do a upright row?
Yeah.
Same thing, just one-handed upright row. Yeah. Right. All right, let's see how you go. Start at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, relax. Pretty good. Bad. Yeah, not enough. Not enough. Two more. Upright. Upright. Better. Four. Awesome. That was probably your best one, yeah.
Yeah.
That was really, really good.
Yeah. Just gotta get it up.
Get it up. Send them. What's that about? Well,
It's like White Walker.
you're kidding me.
It's a White Walker in my heart.
It's like the same kind of.
Yeah.
You're joking. Oh, how's that happen? Alright, we ready? Let's do it again. Upright. Zip up, jump. Up. A lot better. A lot better. Just gripped it a little bit too tight, which is why it flips. Relax. Better. See when you relax your hands?
Yeah.
So much easier. Almost.
More?
One more. Yeah, too rounded there. Too wingy with your elbow. So there he's gone and out instead of up. Out, which brings it around and everything's out of line a little bit. Whereas if you go straight and comes under, everything should be in line. But pretty good. For the first time.
Yeah.
No,
Nah,
for your
for sure.
first time doing this, it's good. For sure.
And
A lot of people don't pick this up.
they're strange.
Yeah. It's just multi.
Yeah.
Once you get it, it's pretty simple. Once you keep practicing for a couple of sessions, like it's.
Oh yeah, I can feel it. Like once you have the knack, you just do it every time.
Alright, last one?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's finish it off.
Finish it off. A little bit too wingy. Upright. Zip up. Bit better. Relax your hands. Zip up. So you're kind of using what he's doing at the moment, he's kind of flicking over the top once he's finished the upright row, whereas I want him to relax his hand, just turn his wrist slightly. Just loose wrists, loose hands, loose wrists, relax. Loose. Way better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Two more. Last one. Relax. Awesome. Nice.
That was
Thank you.